Hello everyone and welcome to this presentation. In this video, we introduce our child system, which enables conversational interfaces for artificial olfaction. We will walk you through the introduction, challenges, key ideas, datasets, and the main results demonstrated in our study. Commonly, the area of artificial olfaction primarily focuses on odor classification and odor source localization. Researchers commonly develop electronic noses to mimic the animal sense of smell. An ecosystem is generally comprised of a gas pumping system, an array of gas sensors, and a computational device for recognizing patterns. In smart home, the e-noses can be used for many applications related to gases. However, in practice, we find many underlying challenges. First, we find that the existing e-noses only show simple data analysis and visualization. Users might find it difficult to interact with the systems. In some cases, they are not experts and might want to know more knowledge about the detected gases. On the other hand, if we want to localize the odor sources, only robots equipped with e-noses or the e-nose on the ceiling can help. We could see that the robots might not easily avoid the complex home interiors while searching, and the ceiling e-noses cannot precisely identify the locations. A plausible method for addressing the above-mentioned challenges is to turn the e-noses into decors and build a sensory network joining with the IoT system and taking large language models as agents. But none of the current studies provide a solution for detecting the olfactory activities, and they also did not present a comprehensive corpus for systematically evaluating their methods. Inspired by those, we built an MCP-regulated conversational interfaces for the AO system to detect the indoor olfactory events in smart home. We first built a sensory network, which is powered by 4 self-developed e-noses to simulate the smart home scenarios. Then we use it to generate a gas sensor dataset. We also generated an olfaction-oriented corpus by both humans and large language models for evaluating the system performance. 2 dedicated time series classification models were trained to help identify odor sources and their positions. We used MCP to help interact between the large language models and the IoT data management, which connects with the sensory network. We invited 15 experts from 3 nations to evaluate the large language model feasibility and usability. We basically made 2 datasets. The first one was a gas sensor dataset, having the sensing data of 3 kinds of Korean beers at 13 positions. The second one is totally a corpus, having different types of questions related to the odors. These are the details showing how we collect the gas sensor dataset. We have totally 19 sensors, 1 sensor is not shown here, and 2 sensors output more than 1 feature at each time step. The sensor data at the 13 positions were collected at last, and we reorganized the position labels into 9 zones. Since the odor plumes are totally exposed to the air, it makes the localization task more challenging. And we could observe from the figures that the e-noses respond to the odors within about 0.7 meter, and they are sensitive to different kinds of gases as well. While making the corpus, we considered 6 kinds of questions, 7 kinds of emotions, and 5 kinds of tasks. At last, we derived more than 32,000 questions. And since we built a sensory network, we can let them cooperate to do the AO tasks. So basically, every e-nose should use 2 time series classification models to output if the odor is surrounded and what kind of odor is surrounded. And according to our experiments on many traditional machine learning models and 3 deep learning models, we find that the MLSTM FCN can work well on the odor classification, and the DenseNet can work well on the odor source localization. So by using a voting mechanism that combines the outputs of the models of different systems, the child system can actually achieve 100% accuracy on both jobs. To conduct the experiment for evaluating the tool use capabilities, we randomly sampled 50 general questions of each kind. We used 5 commercial large language models and built 3 APIs in the MCP server. 2 metrics are used for evaluating the use capabilities here. We can see that the total calls means how many times that the large language models invoke the APIs, and the tool use accuracy stands for the average number of the correct APIs calls. So we find that across all the tasks, the ChatGPT 4.0 outperforms any other models with a tool use accuracy more than or equal to 90%. ChatGPT 4.1 shows the lowest number of non-target tool calls, and Chat Plus and DeepSeek version 3 sometimes repeats the tool calls, possibly due to the data validation. And Gemini 2 Flash shows pronounced hallucination issues even when answering the yes or no questions. Overall, we could see that the trial system is capable of using large language models as agents to invoke tools for answering the questions. This shows the technical feasibility of the trial framework. These are the details of the questionnaire that we made for collecting the expert feedback. According to our statistical results, we found that the ChatGPT 4.0 shows optimal performance in both tool discovery and large language model usability. And this is the case study for showing the model empathy. We find that the Chat Plus can answer the questions with human-like emotional tones, which can help the user experience. We also show a multi-turn conversation here to indicate that ChatGPT 4.0 retrieved the information of the mentioned beer, but Chat Plus seemingly loses its memory. It needs additional question answering as a reminder. Besides, ChatGPT 4.0 shows stronger coherence and provides better experiences. Chat Plus would answer the question with some non-English characters. We suppose that is because of the non-English knowledge it learned. In the future, we would build a specific large language model to enhance its olfactory knowledge and uncertain solutions, and we are planning to release a larger open source gas sensor dataset in the near future. We will also enable more visual aids and customizable answering styles. That's the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention.